Hello and welcome to today's crypto day morning. It is that of Saturday, the 21st day of July, 2018. My name is Derek. I'd like to welcome you. All trades, all best bets, and the such is always within your own risk, own reward. For me, risk reward management is always job number one. I'm just going over how I think I see the charts or what exactly I am doing, because I basically do the buy low, sell high strategy that I've talked about amongst this channel quite a bit, where markets go down lower, I buy, markets rise higher, I sell. So over the last several days, it has been 5 sell orders in a row that I've had within that of THC, and I've managed to get one buy order back within this retracement that came into play. What do I think about this rally? Well, actually, it's pretty crappy right now. But that's if this is where the top happens to be. If. And it could be. For the price has came back down to the 18 average of highs. It has came back to where it came from, I think almost exactly. High here, 1028. High here, 1019. So 1028 was the high. It has came down to 1030. So 2 basis points above the previous high. So pretty much close enough to me to say yes, but only at the upper end. Coming back to where it came from, where I need to see something like this hold and stay above, is pretty much around the 900 area. Yes, technically 855, but I would, if it's going to retrace, that's the support zone that if it fails, it's like, okay, this is a deadly failed move coming. But overall, like I say, man, this rally is like whatever, even if it extends further, because we look at the April rally, it was a meh rally. Even this very quick one that occurred back in February, this was a bottom of 1800 up to 2800 really quickly. That was a move of about 1,000 points or 50-60%. But that only happened over a couple of days to get up amongst that. But the rally, of course, before, on the end of last year, at December the 2nd, 200, and then somewhere January the 2nd, it's like 20 plus times higher. These moves will happen when they're ready, and I don't know when that's going to be the case. Obviously, it's made a statement that it wants to make a breakout, and now we'll see how this statement works. It's at the stage where once you see a move like this, you can shorten out time frames. Oh, there's the 1 hour. For this, I probably want to use the 3, or even 3 will work. So now you've had this nice run up, you're back to this consolidation point. If you start to see further positive momentum coming from this point, then you can start about talking making it to this previous high, but more importantly, making new ones thereafter. And as we talk about the statement, the move that I referenced to as a statement was a failed move in here. So you break out, you need to hold this area where you come from. Obviously, it did not do such a thing, and then after going below the 18 lows, it went down pretty large. I'm not going to show Bitcoin in this video because it really hasn't changed much since my last night's video at the end of the day. So if you want to see information on Bitcoin and you haven't seen that video, then that's available, of course, on the channel. Let's go up next and take a look at VEN against the US dollar Tether, which has been pretty much in a major down move. Not much data to show, but it's very interesting that when you cross this over to a 1 hour time frame, now you have to question, will this make a bear market rally? And of course, if it does, will it be just that of a bear market rally or a reversal? But within how I see this on the short term, and I'm not making any trade on the play, rather my buy low, sell high strategy is just going to play its course. But you have this resistance in here back to the 18 highs. You repeat that level again by finding resistance there and here. Back again to the 18. It looks like it's about to leave such the case. So I can always talk about stuff. Okay, let's wait for a breakout above a key level like that. And if it works, that's good. But let's just talk about reality situations, because it is looking pretty okay. Like it might be ready for a good short-term scalp. But you could have been thinking the same thing here. And if you done so, and you say bought long at $1.85-ish or so, which means you're only down a couple pennies now, there is no way that a move of this degree should stop you out of such a trade, because in a bull market you expect to make patterns of higher highs and higher lows. So thus why you'd have any stop above around here, I don't really know. But with that being said, I rarely ever make trades that way, where I'll look at a market at one point and I think over the next few hours there's a good chance it might go up to a certain level. I want to go long. If it doesn't work, I'm going to have to get out here. I rarely ever do that because I haven't done so well. Or at least I find the buy low, sell high strategy for me works much better. Looking next at Vertcoin against BTC, that of Bitcoin. There's this long sideways consolidation pattern basically since the final week of June. And it had a very good green candle up day on July 18th, and then giving it all back to the 18 average of lows. That's not necessarily going to kill that market, but it went straight down after the April Fool's rally, and markets can correct one of two ways. Either that of price, which on a downtrend would be filling some of this gap space, going up to the 18 handle, even as high as the 21 handle on a bear market situation. Or it can do such through that via time, which has pretty much been the case. So in such, when I see spots of this support being broken, if it is, it wouldn't surprise me if a decent leg lower was to appear. And within that situation, buy low, sell high, this is a type of market that I really don't like. When it goes straight down and there's no up movements that occur, it just continuously goes down. That's going to crush your bankroll, as it should with anyone who trades a coin to such a degree. After all, if it doesn't wear you out, if it doesn't scare you out, it'll wear you out, basically. And when you look at historically situations, the moves that you see where it has all of these choppy up and down moves, price corrections like that, that is what I'm looking to gain. So if these, I'm just thinking this is a short term or just at this time in the game that it's been this case, and I'm going to be holding on, buying as the price keeps going lower. But realize that when these markets go, they can go. The decline from the May 15th highs to down here was a month and a half. So it wouldn't surprise me if in a week or 9 or 10 days I could get it back when it's ready to go. And I'm not trying to predict when, rather just be ready when it happens with my trades. Let's look next at Lumen, XLM, and we'll do so against the US dollar. In at 28 cents right now. Therefore, how is this looking? Well, it's just like THC on the open. It's had this tremendous gain higher, getting above the level of resistance from middle of June. And in this case, although technically getting above and noticeably above the June 4th resistance, it's pretty much a matching area within it. So a very strong move. And anytime you have a situation like that, it's really important to thus create the higher lows, especially on these first retracements, and not avoid thus of and not have that of a failed breakout. In situations like this, where you have this a point A to B, which is low to high of a range, and then you have a breakout where the differential of high to low is substantially higher on the breakout, well, that's a very good rally. But when situations like this happen, although it's fine to come back to where you came from, I would rather it not. I would rather it make a higher low above that point. So therefore, I'd be very super excited on a breakout that's starting to show momentum going further, especially when we look at this, pan it out on the short-term time frames. It's not giving us any direction as of yet that it is ready to go. In fact, it could be quite the opposite. With that being said, you make this low in here. Okay, that's fantastic. You have now been in correctionary mode following the move to the 18 at the 20-hour timestamp. This is period number 4 within the correction of a newly declining 18 average. For reversal of trend, and we have an uptrend within this 3-hour time frame. Stage 1, band flatten out, right in here. Stage 2, establish support. That's been done, and that's been done so at about 25.3 cents. Stage number 3, come back to where you came from, or the 18 average, which it is done. And then, of course, the next one is breaking down below it. So therefore, if it doesn't complete that stage, and you can see that this thing is going to show some strength getting out above this level, and I can even short term it even more and use situations like the 1 hour time frame, this is giving me a very good signal that this could be ready to go for a leg higher. It's had its correctionary move. After all, from this point in here on this low, it had managed to make it up to this resistance point very nicely, spending very close to almost a dozen periods within it. 18 average sideways, but the 18 average in lows in here we can see is rising, which is because of the fact of a lot of it is because of how low it came from, and the fact, especially now that the price is increasing, that's really going to make it go higher. And I know it doesn't really mean too much, but it does mean that the market isn't rejecting, at least over the last few hours within it. It looks as if it might be poised and ready to go to continue moving. And when you get a situation like this, okay, so we're probably going to make a target level to where it came from, like 31 to like 32. Okay, well, that's an easy target to make, and it's not a bad sales point either. And maybe it might be. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because when you look at this again on the daily time frame, when you have that situation, like I mentioned, a big gain where the move from here was a nice larger move than the range, then it has the higher low, hopefully nicely above the support, which was the case, that if further momentum comes in, I'm not expecting it to top at 32 cents. I'm expecting a leg higher, maybe close to 40. Because I can make the easy target. Okay, so I mentioned on the outset, it broke past the mid-June resistance. It got then past the to the early June. So now we got resistance from, well, this level here, the 38 up to the 46 cent mark. Of course, that coincides with resistance from even February as well. So that is XLM. Let's next talk about Steam, and we're going to do so against the Bitcoin cross. And this is a very interesting situation here. There's the down move from the April highs, and these little Pierce wicks, I mean, they're awesome for my strategy that I like, because every time you can get the sell, as long as your sell order isn't a little above it, you're going to get sell orders and opportunities to buy back. But here's the interesting part of technical analysis, how I look at it. All right then. So the move from this low in here, what have we had happen since? A very good rally that did very poorly within where it needed to have its correctionary phase, the 18. Broke below it, and then it resisted the 18 after such, and it has had the last two periods fall through. This is the neckline where current price action is from the low, or not neckline, it's just a support line. But in a situation where you have a down move, the failed breakout, and a pattern like this, oh, I'm expecting a decent leg lower, and it's just barely touched it. So as of now, it's a matching low with a pierce below, and it's doing so in this general area of the previous support in the April Fool's low. Now, long term, I can talk big about Steam in that I can at least understand its case coin and how it's used magnificently. So this is a coin I like, but I realize I like the up and down volatility, and I know it because it exists so frequently, and the volatility to buy low and sell high at big levels. You see this go before last year from 9,800 up to like 60,000. Okay, about a 6x gain. Okay, I got you. Well, the last place in which it came from to me is around the 15,000 handle. So the message that it's telling me is that it's going to be retracing down to this level. Whether it does or not, I'm not going to say who knows, because I don't know who would know. But to me, if it doesn't, okay, it's just going to, it's a rarity, but I just think it's favored at this point to make it to that level. And given the length of this video is getting closer to, well, somewhat closer to 20 minutes, 15 and plus. But anyway, I'm going to end the video now. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.